Special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this video possible. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Security before here bringing you another Minecraft Cold War vehicle tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going ahead and building the 2K12 Cub. The 2K12 Cub, known by the NATO reporting name as SA-6 Gainful, Mobile Surface-to-Air Missile System, is a Soviet low to medium level air defense system designed to protect ground forces from air attack. 2K12 is the GRAU designation of the system. Each 2K12 battery consists of a number of similar tracked vehicles, one of which carries the 1S91 CERN vehicle, NATO designation Straight Flush, a 25 kilowatt G/H band radar, equipped with a continuous wave illuminator, in addition to an optical sight. The battery uses also include 4 triple missile transporter erector launchers, known as TELs, and 4 trucks, each carrying 3 spare missiles and a crane. The TEL is based on a GM578 chassis, while the 1S91 radar is based on the GM568 chassis, all developed and produced by MMZ. So yeah, the vehicle we have in front of us here is a pretty cool surface-to-air missile system. This is kind of our second one we've ever done on the channel, as we don't really have too many of them. Actually, I would say this is probably the second one we've done for the Russian line. We have done the M104 Patriot system before, so I guess that can technically be considered a surface-to-air missile system. But yeah, this here is just kind of that really cool Soviet-era surface-to-air missile system where they have just these big missiles exposed on these little vehicles, and they really are pretty cool designs. So this right here is the SA-6 Gainful. It is still in service today with various users, but it did originate in the Soviet Union. And at this point in time, it's most likely a non-frontline use anti-aircraft weapon. But still a cool design, and we did do a tutorial already for the transit version, so if you do want a version of this kind of for a convoy or whatever, but basically you don't want the missiles sticking upwards, there is a version available for you, and that is basically already available as a tutorial. The version we have in front of us here is going to be the deployed version, where we actually have our missiles at an angle or an incline, and it would look like it's ready to go in its launch position. So again, as you can see in front of us, personally this is the core of the 2 ways to really build this vehicle. Obviously have these missiles stick upwards and all that stuff really kind of shows it's a surface-to-air missile system, and really just kind of makes the build look that much cooler. Before we go and jump in and take a look at this build, though, I do want to go ahead and give special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this tutorial possible. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel more, you already do, feel free to check my Patreon page. Link is always in my video descriptions, where you can pledge a small amount to the channel every month, and in doing so, earn a viewer request of your choosing. It really helps support the work I do on my channel. It's always greatly appreciated, so definitely feel free to check that out. And again, links in the video descriptions. With that, though, let's go ahead and dive in here to take a look at the 2K12 Cub. So starting off with, we have the vehicle base. As I mentioned before, this is the GM568 chassis. Pretty standard, really nothing too crazy about it. Kind of just an armored vehicle, and that's really the vehicle. So pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy in terms of its design. We then have the actual rockets, or the missiles here, and this is kind of the highlight of the whole missile system itself, is basically the launching position of these and all that. So very similar to, or very different from the mobile version. The actual missiles do spin around and they face forward. Imagine if they faced backwards, it would be too rear heavy, so they do face forward like that, and the missile system is able to rotate on this section there. But overall, it's a really cool looking system. Looks really sweet and is a nice design if you're looking for something a little bit more kind of less bulky and cumbersome like this older missile system, the SA-4, that we have done a tutorial on also. But yeah, really cool system. Should be a fun tutorial. Let's go ahead and move on into the build. Before we go ahead and move into the build, I just want to go ahead and real quickly mention that the first 4 layers of this build will be basically the layers or the footage used for the mobile version of this vehicle, as all 4 layers are the same between the mobile and the deployed version. If you see the mobile version in the background throughout the first few layers here, that is the reason why, but we are again building this deployed version you can see behind me. After layer 4, we'll switch to layer 5, in which everything will change, and we'll basically be solely focusing on building this missile system facing upwards. So just keep that in mind going through it. Both that. Let's go ahead and move on into the tutorial. Alright guys, so going ahead and moving into our first layer, we will be going ahead and start off layer 1. If you are watching the video for the deployed version and also the radar system, just know that we will be using kind of the same first layers here that we did for the transit version. I'm just going to go ahead and recycle the footage since we're basically building the same basis of the vehicle. So just keep that in mind. That's kind of what we're doing here, and all that. So if you see this vehicle here in the background, that's the reason why. But after we get past layer 4 or so, then you'll see the vehicle we're actually going to be building. So just keep that in mind. But let's go ahead and get started with this this build here. The first thing we want to do is we want to place down a nether brick slab like this and a nether brick top slab coming off of it. We're going to go ahead and then place down a black shulker box on its side, followed by a dark oak trapdoor, an air black shulker box, an air dark oak trapdoor, an air black shulker box on its side, a polished black stone stair, a second stair, and then another shulker box on its side, and then another set of 2 polished black stone stairs back to back. So you should have an alternating pattern that kind of looks like this for your road wheels. After that, we're going to go ahead and then place down a nether brick upside down stair on the end here of this polished black stone stair. With that done, we're going to go ahead and then take our dark oak with top slabs. We're going to build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across from that stair there, and we're also going to go ahead and do 5 across from that nether brick slab there. So like so. We then want to go ahead and take our top slabs and we're just going to go ahead and fill in the space here on the bottom. So just like this, to go ahead and create the basis here of the vehicle. After that, we're going to go ahead and place down our polished black stone stairs here, our shulker boxes, and again we're just going to go ahead and repeat the same pattern that we did on the other side over here to this side. Just like that. And over here, we're going to do the same thing. Nether brick upside down stair, and then a dark oak trapdoor to both sides like that. After we have that all done there, basically we're going to go ahead and then place down some item frames on the side here of these shulker boxes. If they will actually load, there we go. And we're going to go ahead and then place down green stained glass panes in those item frames. Now, if you're on Java, we can also go ahead and place down dark oak wood buttons in the same block space as an item frame. This is a feature that's not going to be available for every version of Java, so if you are on a different version and you are not able to place down a button and item frame, just go ahead and place down the item frame with the green stained glass pane. So it'll look like that there, but for Java, we'll go ahead and do a little bit extra by placing down the dark oak wood buttons here. So just like that, we have our road wheels set up. In addition, we do have this banner design that we're going to be placing down on these polished black stone stairs. Now, this banner is really simple. I'm not going to go ahead and go in great detail in it, like building it in a loom. However, I will talk about it briefly. And basically, all you're doing here is you're going to go and take a black banner. You're going to go and do a green stripe on the right side, splitting the banner in half, and a green stripe on the left side, again, splitting that banner exactly in half. After you have those 2 banners, you're going to go ahead and then do a black horizontal line through the center of both. And you have those banners complete. Again, real simple stuff. And they'll go on the side of these polished black stone stairs with the green facing toward each other. And this will be done here for each one of our polished black stone stair segments. So it's going to look like that there. After that's all done though, that is going to wrap up everything we have there for layer number 1. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving on up to our next layer, which will be layer number 2. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 2. For layer 2 to start with, we're going to place down a green terracotta block here, mossy cobblestone wall to both sides, and then another green terracotta block here coming off the sides. We're going to go then also place down a green shulker box on both ends, as well as tripwire hooks on the sides here of these blocks. We then also want to place down an item frame here on the side, a cobweb, and a dark oak wood button like so, and same thing over here, item frame, cobweb, and a dark oak wood button. We're going to go then place down a dark oak wood trapdoor coming off the faces here, or the sides I should say, of the green shulker boxes. And we then want to go ahead and go back from those shulker boxes with some nether brick top slabs. We'll then take our piston. We're going to place down a piston here to both sides. Now, if you're not on Java, so if you're on Pocket Edition or Bedrock, instead of the piston, I would recommend placing down a nether brick stair that would sit like this. So you have this bottom of the stair here, and then the back side like this. So it'd sit kind of like this at an L angle as an alternative. Then on the sides of the piston, we are going to go ahead and place down a dark oak wood sign. Then continuing on from the pistons, we're going to go ahead and take our nether brick slabs. We're going to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 nether brick slabs. And then same thing over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then a piston right here to both sides, followed by a dark oak wood sign on the side of said piston. And also a nether brick top slab going back from the piston like that. After that is all done, we then want to place down a green shulker box on its side like that to both sides. Mossy cobblestone wall here in these spaces like so. And actually, instead of the green shulker blocks, we can place down a green terracotta block here so our walls actually connect up. We'll just go ahead and make that quick little correction there. We're going to then place down a polished blackstone stair coming off the ends there. And then on the sides of the blocks themselves, we're going to place down an item frame, then a cobweb, and just like that. And then also a dark oak button on the side here of these blocks. After that's done, we're going to go ahead and then place down a green terracotta block there in the center. And we then want to go ahead and place down a stripped spruce wood block to both sides, as well as a green terracotta block as well to the sides there. We then want to take our dark oak with trapdoors, and we're just going to place down a row of 3 going across the middle space like so. After that, we're just going to go ahead and fill in the inside of the vehicle in with green terracotta. So basically just like this, you're going to completely fill the inside in of the vehicle. And this is going to get completely filled in like so. Now, after that is all done there, that is going to basically wrap up everything we have for layer number 2. Again, here's an aerial overview of what it looks like from the top-down view. With that, though, we will be going ahead and moving on into our next layer, layer number 3. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer number 3. For layer 3 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a dark oak wood stair on top of these shulker boxes like so. We then want to go ahead and take our green stained glass panes, and we're going to place down a row of 5 across the middle here. And then we're going to take our green terracotta, and we're going to place down a row of 7 going across as well. We then want to place down a dark oak wood sign that's going to be on the sides here of these stairs. Just like so. And we then want to go ahead and grab our dark oak wood trapdoors, and on the right side and right side only, we're going to place down a dark oak wood trapdoor. We're going to take our green terracotta, and we're just going to go ahead and build another row of 7 across. So you have 2 rows. Then we have 3, followed by 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and we're going to go and do 11 rows of 7 going all the way across. Now, once you get to this point, we're going to place down a green terracotta block here in the corners, and in the space in between here, we're going to take our loom and we're just going to, our looms, and we're just going to place down a row of 5 across. We'll then place down an item frame here on the sides of those blocks here on the back. We're going to place down red concrete in those item frames, and for Java players, we're going to go ahead and place down a dark oak wood sign over the side of that block as well. Being on Java, again, we can place down some signs in the same block space as item frames. If you're not on Java, then just disregard the signs. And continuing on, we're going to go ahead and place down a green stained glass pane that's going to be on the sides of these middle 2, or the to the sides of the middle 2, or the middle 1 looms. So it's going to be like that on both sides there. We then want to take our dark oak wood trapdoors. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3 trapdoors here along the sides, and we're going to then close them. We're going to go ahead and then place down an item frame, then a green green terracotta block, and then a dark oak wood sign over it if you're on Java. We'll then place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 trapdoors going forward. And that's going to be on the right side and the right side only. The left side here is going to be a bit different. This is going to be done with a dark oak wood trapdoor here. We're going to go and then skip a space, place down an item frame and a green terracotta block, as well as a dark oak wood sign on the side of that block. We're going to take our dark oak wood trapdoors. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dark oak wood trapdoors going across the side there. And after that is all done, that is going to basically wrap up everything we have there for this layer. Just make sure you do take into account the 2 differences on the 2 sides. And luckily, they're really nothing too crazy to transfer. But yeah, that right there is basically all you want there for that. At this point in time, also for my Java players, we're going to go and type in the command /give @p Minecraft :debug_stick. So this command right here. We'll press enter, we'll get this glowing stick. What we can do is we can go to the pistons here, we can left click them until we get selected extended false pop up on our screen. We'll then right click them and we'll set them extended to true, and it will get rid of that wood portion there, which kind of helps with a little bit of our shaping of our tracks. But anyways, that right there is going to be basically it for this layer. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving on to our next layer, layer number 4. Moving into our next layer here, we have layer number 4. For layer 4 to start with, we're going to place down a shulker box that's going to go on top of this green terracotta block, an item frame, and a black bed rotated sideways like so. We then also want to go ahead and place down a dark oak wood sign that's going to be on the side there of that as well. We're going to go ahead and then place down a zombie head right here to the right side, and that's going to be followed with a dark oak wood slab, which we'll go ahead and grab real quick. So dark oak wood slab, and then to the very side here, we're going to place down a mossy cobblestone wall. So like that. Then we're going to go ahead and go to the other side. We're going to place down a dark oak wood slab, a spruce wood slab, and then another dark oak wood slab. We'll then place down item frames coming off those blocks there. And in those item frames, we're going to go ahead and place down some snowballs like so. After we have that done, if you're on Java, we can also go ahead and place down a iron bar that's going to go on top of this stair right here. So again, you can go ahead and place the iron bar. If you're on a different version other than Java, you will not be able to place down the iron bar in item frame, so you may have to get rid of the item frame or just disregard the radio antenna, whichever one you kind of prefer here. Anyways, after that is all done, we're going to go ahead and then place down a dark oak wood upside down stair. And then coming off the side of it, we're going to place down a sign, and the same thing will be done over here on this side. Then we want to go ahead and go back from the stair with our dried kelp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dried kelp. And over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll then take our dark oak wood signs, and we're just going to go ahead and run them on the sides here of the dried kelp blocks all the way down. And same thing will be done over here. So just like that. Then after we get to this point, we're going to take our dark oak wood slabs, and we're just going to go ahead and fill in the space in between the stairs here with a row of row of 5 of slabs. And then we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves a lectern. We're going to place down a lectern here on the left side, or the right side of the vehicle technically. And then we want to go ahead and grab ourselves our pistons again, and we're going to place down a row of pistons going across the space here. An alternative to the pistons can also be the end portal frames. Those also work really good, and they have the same height when we go back and use the debug stick. However, the only problem with that is that they kind of add a tan color to it, which I don't think blends as good as the gray. But again, that's kind of a good alternative for you if you don't have access to the debug stick. Anyways, so after this, we're going to go ahead and then place down a row of 3 of green terracotta. We're going to go ahead and then place down a second row of 3 and a third row. To the sides here, we're going to go ahead and take our pistons. We're going to go ahead and build 3 back along the sides here. Then a row of 5. Then a second row of 5. And then taking our green terracotta, we're going to build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 green terracotta across. Then a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 again. This will be followed up with a dark oak wood trapdoor on the right side there. And over here on the left side, it's going to be a trapdoor on the side of this block, and also this sign here, we're going to go ahead and delete that and actually replace that with a trapdoor as well. Then right here on this block, we're going to go ahead and grab an item frame, and we're going to do the same thing from the previous layer, an item frame, green terracotta block, and dark oak wood sign like that. After that, we're going to go ahead and place down another row of 7 of green terracotta across, followed up with our dark oak wood sign on both ends, or rather, sorry, just on the right side. And then we're going to go ahead and place down another row of 7 going all the way across. Again, a dark oak wood sign on the right side here, and then a dark oak wood trapdoor on the left side. After that is all done, we're going to go ahead and take our green terracotta. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green terracotta across, an item frame on both ends. In that item frame, we're going to place down a green stainless pane. And we also want to go ahead and grab a dark oak wood trapdoor, and we're going to place it down on the side here of these 2 blocks on the sides there in the middle. And after we have that all done right there, that is going to basically conclude everything we have there for layer number 4 of the build. We're going to leave the pistons alone for right now, and we're going to come back to those a little bit later. But again, looking at it from the top-down view, this is what we should have with this layer complete. Actually, a few things I'm going to go ahead and add on also are going to be on the front here. We are going to place down 2 zombie heads here at slight angles on these 2 glass panes here for some little optic viewports and stuff like that for the drivers and operators of the vehicle. Anyways, though, that is going to do it for this layer, and with that, we'll go ahead and move on to our next layer, layer 5. Alright guys, so moving into layer 5. For layer 5, to get started with here, we're going to place down a dark oak wood stair here, then a dark oak wood corner stair here to both sides of that. We're going to go ahead and place down 3 rows of 3 of green terracotta going across. After we have that done, we're going to go ahead and also place down item frames on the green terracotta blocks here on the sides, basically on the ends there, and then also a green terracotta block in said item frames. After that, we then want to go ahead and place down a dark oak wood button, or not dark oak wood, but dark oak wood signs on the side of these green terracotta blocks if you are on Java. Again, only Java players are going to be able to place down the item frames and signs in the same block space. If you're on a version other than Java, you'll have to just place down the item frame. In between those, we're going to go ahead and then place down a dark oak wood trapdoor. On the back here, we're going to go ahead and then place down a row of 3 of dark oak wood upside down stairs, followed by a dark oak wood fence gate, which is going to be opened up out to the sides there, coming off those stairs like that. So at this point here, we're going to go ahead and just continue on by going ahead and placing down a Dark Oak fence gate to both sides here, and then an end rod, and then a zombie head coming off the side there of the fence gates. After we have that all done, we're going to go ahead and then take our Dark Oak slabs. We're going to place down a row of 5 going across. We're going to go ahead and then place down a mossy cobblestone wall in the center, a slab to both sides, and another mossy cobblestone wall like that to the sides. We'll then take our spruce wood trapdoors. We're going to place down a row of 4 on both sides here, and then a row of daylight detectors across the center here, and make sure that those trapdoors do stay closed on the ends there. We'll then place another fence gate here in the center, just like that. And then we're going to place down 1 and 2 zombie heads to the side, and 1 and 2 like that to the side as well. Now, once we have that done, we're going to go ahead and then place down our rails, and we're going to go ahead and place down a row of rails going all the way alongside the dragged kelp and that first Dark Oak stair. And the same thing here will be done over here on this side, so just like that as well. We will also take the time now to take a flower plot. We're going to place it down on top of this mossy cobblestone wall, and we'll also take our iron bars, and we're just going to go ahead and build a row of 4 more up. So we're going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, and 4, just so we don't have to worry about that radio antenna any further. Now, at this point of the tutorial also, we can go ahead and type in our /give @p debug _stick command, and we'll get this stick here. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go up to these pistons, and we're just going to go ahead and right click each single one of them, just like we did for the tracks down there. And we're going to go ahead and basically get rid of that wood portion here on the build. Just make sure that you're not tinkering too much with moving into our next layer. We move it into layer number 6. For layer 6 to get started with here, we're going to place down a deep slate tile wall here in the center, and we're going to go ahead and then place down a row of 3 of daylight detectors across the space here. We'll then take our green terracotta. We're going to place down a row of 5 going across the space here, and then an item frame on both ends. After that, we're going to go ahead and place down a green terracotta block in those item frames, and a Dark Oak sign also on the ends here of that row of 5. We'll then take our Dark Oak trapdoors. We're going to place down a row of 5 going all the way across there, and we're going to make sure that those trapdoors lay flat. We'll then place down a green terracotta block in the center, the Dark Oak slab to both sides, and then we're going to then place down a Dark Oak upside down stair coming off those slabs like so. After that, we'll then take our Dark Oak button, and we're just going to place down a Dark Oak button that's going to go directly here on the side of this green terracotta block like so. And after that's all done right there, that is going to wrap up everything we have there for layer number 6. And with this, we're probably just going to be going ahead and moving on up and really just kind of knocking out the rest of the build with all of the rest of our layers we have left. So with that, let's go ahead and move on to our next layers. Moving into our final layers, we have layers 7 through 16. For these layers to go ahead and get started with here, we want to go ahead and begin with by going ahead and grabbing ourselves, first off, some green concrete. We're going to place down a green concrete block here, 1 here, and 1 here, and then coming off those green concrete blocks, we're going to place down item frames, and then we're going to place down black stained glass paints in those item frames. After we have that done, on the backs of those green terracotta blocks, we're going to take our mossy cobblestone walls, and we're going to do a row of 5 all the way across this space here. Once we have that done, coming off those mossy cobblestone walls, we're going to place down a dark prismarine upside down stair, and this here will be on both sides. Like that. Then we want to place down a green concrete block going up on top of these walls here. And we're also going to place down a prismarine slab like that, coming off those. Once we have that all finished there, we're going to go ahead and then take a zombie head. And we want to place down a zombie head that's going to come off of these 2 stairs here, and then these 2 mossy cobblestone walls. So it's going to look like that right there. We'll also take a deep slate stair, and we're going to place down a deep slate stair upside down like that, and it will also place down a lever on the back of the stair, flick downwards like so to connect to there. We're going to go ahead and place down a mossy cobblestone wall coming off each of those green concrete blocks, and then we're just going to place down a green concrete block on top of them. We're going to go ahead and repeat this row going up a second time. Then we're going to go ahead and go up a third. Then a fourth. Or rather, yeah, actually, sorry, it is going to be a fourth. Except this 4th row here is just going to be mossy cobblestone walls all the way across. We will continue our green terracotta like we have been though. And we'll then place down a upside down dark prismarine stair here. And same thing over here. So just like that. And we'll also take our zombie heads and we're going to place it down on the side here of the stairs and also the side of the middle walls, just like that. And actually, my bad, the zombie heads are actually just going to be green shulker boxes. So it's going to look like that there for the front. Now, once we have that done, we're going to go ahead and then go basically above the space here. We're going to place down a grindstone. If you can place down a grindstone, just coming off this block will also work. And actually, we'll just have it come off the green concrete. It's really not too big of a deal. So look something like that there. On top of the grindstones, we're just going to go ahead and continue on for green concrete going up. We will also go ahead and grab our dark prismarine stair. We're going to place down an upside down, or sorry, just a normal stair right here in this space. And like we did on the bottom here, a zombie head going forward. And we will also place down a mossy cobblestone wall in these spaces here, with again a zombie head going forward. Down here, I also want to go ahead and mention, just so I don't forget, we're going to do the same thing here. Just have a dark prismarine stair on both sides in this section here. Again, zombie heads going forward from those. A mossy cobblestone wall here in the middle. Another one here. And then again, a zombie head like that to both sides. Now, at this point here, we're going to go and then take our dark prismarine slabs, and we're going to go ahead and place them down on top of our green concrete blocks going all the way up. So just like that. Then up on the very top here, we want to go ahead and take our smooth quartz. We're going to place down a smooth quartz block like so. And then we're going to go ahead and then place down a skeleton skull coming off those smooth quartz blocks. We're going to go ahead and then place down a diorite wall that goes up like this, again continuing that angle. And then we're going to place down a skeleton skull coming off those blocks. And then on top of the walls, we're going to place down a temporary block, and coming off the side of this block going forward, we're going to place down skeleton skulls, and then we'll delete those blocks like so, so you have your missiles pretty much set up and good to go. Now at this point in time, we do want to go ahead and grab some dark oak trapdoors as well. We're going to place down a trapdoor here on top of the stair, which we're going to open like so. And then coming off this trapdoor, we're going to place down another one. It's going to open that one like so. Same thing over here on this side will be done. Like so. And then for this section here, we're going to place down a trapdoor here, and we're going to go ahead and then close them, or open them however you want to look at it, so they look like this. You have those three sections there for those missiles to sit. Now, once we get to this point for the build, we're going to go ahead and grab some dark oak wood fence gates, and we're going to place down a fence gate here, open that toward the side, fence gate here, open that toward the side. And then up here on top, we're going to do pretty much just a very similar thing. Fence gate here, open it to the side, fence gate here, again, open to the side. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grab a lever, and on these stairs here, we're going to place down levers. So just like this. If you are on Java, you can go ahead and, or sorry, not on Java, you can go ahead and place down a lever right there, and then a zombie head coming off those fence gates. But since we're on Java, we're going to be going ahead and using our debug stick here and a technique to actually go ahead and place a lever on the fence gate. We're just going to build a block one space off from the fence gate, so you have that one block of space between that block and the fence gate. We'll place down levers here on the sides of those blocks like so, and then we'll go ahead and grab ourselves a debug stick, and we're going to go ahead and basically rotate it. So we're going to rotate it around like so. And obviously try not to touch your fence gate because it will break if you do that. But yeah, we're just going to go ahead and do this for each of our fence gates here. Again, try not to hit that fence gate. Just like that. And same thing up here. Just like that. And we have basically those levers in place. Now, once those levers are in place, we're going to go ahead and go to the back ones, and we're going to place down 2 end rods up. And then this forward one's going to have 1. So just like this. And then same thing up here. So forward one only has 1, and then the second one, or the one furthest back, has 2 end rods on top of it. We then want to go ahead and place down a lever on the side of these stairs here. We're going to use our debug stick. We're going to left click until we get select face wall. We're going to go and then right click it, and we're going to go ahead and set that at the floor. Again, an alternative here would be place down a zombie head like this if you're not on Java. But again, we'll use our technique here, and then we're going to change the facing. So we'll then right click this, rotate it so it points backwards like that on both sides there. And again, we're going to do the same thing down here. So whatever you did before, go ahead and just use the same technique. So just like that. Now after that's done, we then want to go ahead and put a fence gate coming off this end rod here. I'm going to open this fence gate here toward the end rod. And we're going to go ahead and then go on top here. And we want to go ahead and place down 2 blocks here to the side of the end rod and the fence gate on top. We're going to be going ahead and, if you probably guessed it, doing our technique here for our levers. An alternative here for this would be to just place down 2 dark oak trapdoors if you want. But again, we'll be using the lever technique here because I really do prefer the look of it. So for each one of these sections, we're just going to go ahead and set these levers to the floor. So just like that on the side of these blocks, so that they're on top of our end rods and our fence gate. Going to rotate these around like so. Again, for all 4 sections. So again, it's a little time consuming, but I think the design of it is well worth it. It just kind of helps keep this design here for this slanted kind of railing system just a little bit more, a little bit more cleaner, a little bit nicer, I think. At least that's just my opinion. Now, once we get to this point here, we're going to go and then take our barrier blocks, and we're going to go and drop down from this fence gate, a barrier block, and we're just going to go ahead and kind of drop down here at an angle, like that. Let me go ahead and double check here, and yeah, it's going to be something that looks just like this here. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and actually, we'll drop down one more barrier block here, but we're going to place down a button on the back here, button on the side, and then a button on top, and then we'll place down a temporary block, so right here, and we're going to go ahead and place down a button, and we'll use our debug stick doing the same thing that we were doing before. We're going to go ahead and rotate this button, and we're going to have it come off the fence gate. Again, try not to activate it or mess anything up because it will cause problems, but as you can see, it just kind of helps form our rail. It's not perfect, but it works a little bit. That's really all that kind of matters, as long as we're trying to kind of show what we're trying to represent here. So just like this again, going up. Then we have our temporary block here, our button. And we're going to go ahead and rotate this like so. And once you have that all done, that's going to pretty much wrap up what we have there for our final layers. And with that, that's going to really wrap up the tutorial here for the deployed version of the 2K12 Cub, or known as the SA-6 Gainful self-propelled surface air missile system. Hope you guys do enjoy this tutorial and are able to put it to good use. If you do use this build, I do ask that you guys give me proper credit for it. This has been from a side of the build, link to my channel or this video if this does appear on social media sites. As long as you guys give me proper credit for it, you're free to her projects you guys are working on. Overall, enjoy the build, have fun with it, and all that fun stuff. Again, big special thanks to Patreon support Derek Frost Westbrook for making this tutorial possible. And as always, feel free to check out my Patreon page. Link is always in my video description. With that though, thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's Garrett204, and I'll see you guys next time.